What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Pro Football Show. I am your host, Juice, and today we will be talking about the AFC West. I would like to start off by saying congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. You know, winning your first championship is awesome. I know the fan base right now feels amazing. As an Eagles fan, we experienced it back in 2017. It was nothing like winning that first title, man. So congratulations to them. At least, one Denver team will be winning a championship this year. I'm not sure it's going to be the Broncos. But anyways, let's just jump into it. For the AFC West, this division last year was considered to be it was supposed to be one of the best divisions in all of football. It was not the case, pretty much Kansas City ran away with it per usual. So I don't think it's one of the best divisions in football like everyone claims it was last year. And I don't think everyone will claim it this year. I think it's a little bit improved from where it stood last year. But yeah, so coming in fourth place, I have the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not sure what the Raiders are going to be this year. You got rid of Derek Carr and you replace him with Jimmy G. I don't think that's an upgrade at the quarterback position. If anything, I think it's a downgrade. I don't think Josh McDaniels is meant to be a head coach, in my opinion. I think that I just think the Raiders are going to struggle this year a little bit. They franchise tagged Josh Jacobs. He hasn't even signed that yet. That's like the good weapon they have. They traded away Darren Waller, which made no sense to me. And then you draft a tight end in the second round. You traded for Darren Waller for a third round, so it kind of means you value this tight end higher than Darren Waller, which makes no sense to me at all. So I don't know. It's just some of this decision doesn't make sense to me. I guess they just didn't get along. I'm not sure what the story is there, but they did add a little bit of tools this offseason. They added Jacoby Myers, which is an okay wide receiver. It's okay. They added safety Epps from the Eagles. I think he's a solid safety for them. I think he'll help that defense. That defense struggled last year at times, so I think that's a nice get. They drafted Tyree Wilson. Everyone says he's a great prospect. I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be good, but we'll have to wait and see. We're not really sure what he's going to be. And like I said, they drafted that tight end out of Notre Dame, Mayer. I think I think he'll be a good tight end, but I don't think he'll be better than Darren Waller. So, I think that's a downgrade there. They still got Devontae Adams, of course, top three, if not one, receiver in the league. I think he's great. So, they'll at least have some efficiency on offense. But, yeah, the Las Raiders coming in fourth makes sense to me. I just don't see them being better than these other teams. I think they're going to come in fourth. I think it's going to be a long year for Raiders fans, unfortunately. But, I could be wrong. Maybe Jimmy G's got it figured out for the Coach McDaniels' offense, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, coming in third, I believe the Denver Broncos will be in third. I think they're going to be much improved from last year's team. At least coaching-wise, they'll be coached better. Sean Payton will be there, I think he is a good coach, or a great coach. I think Russ turns it around this year. I think he's much improved compared to the Russ we saw last year. I think that was just, I'm not sure what he had going on, if it was personal life or he was just might have been an off year for him, but he looks like he's in better shape this year. I think Sean Payton will reel him back in. He got all that. He kind of got a little bit too much power there in Denver when he first got there. I think he's going to get reeled back in here, down to earth. I think he's back to what we're used to seeing Russell Wilson do. So I'm excited to see if he returns to form, which I think he will. And then they didn't really add much this offseason, I don't think. They didn't really have many draft picks because of the Russ trade. So, they already had a good defense. They averaged, I think, 21 points last year. They gave up 21 points last year. And then they added Frank Clark on the end, which I think is a big get for them. I like Frank Clark. He helped Kansas City win a lot of games. So I think that'll be a good addition to their already good defense. The only thing they really did add, though, they did add some O-line help. So their offensive line should be much improved to where it was last year. But yeah, I think the Denver Broncos could. They could jump up and take second, maybe. I think they might be able to outbeat the Chargers, but we'll see. It's a new first year in Sean Payton's offense. Russ has got to figure it out. If Russ is back to his normal self, I think they could easily come in second in this division, potentially make the playoffs, but I'm not sure though. This is the AFC is loaded, so it's going to be hard for a team to sneak into the playoffs here if you don't win your division. I think because as we talked in our last video, the AFC East is just loaded. I'm pretty sure they're going to have 3 teams that might make the playoffs, so that only leaves pretty much one spot open for the wild card. So we'll see what happens. And then coming in second place in the division, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. I think this would probably be the team that claims the third spot in the playoffs. But we'll see. New offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, I think, is a big add for them. He's going to make that offense. I mean, we saw what he did in Dallas. He had an explosive offense. They had like the number 1 offense like every year that he was there, pretty much. But there's a lot of rumors that are saying that he only cared about the stats. He didn't run when he needed to, cost Dallas games. I mean, it might be true, but we don't really know for sure. I think that, I think he's a big addition. I think he's going to help Justin Herbert a little bit here in this offense. And then they drafted Quentin Johnston, which for me, I just didn't understand the pick. You could have easily went Dalton Kincaid at tight end. If you wanted an offensive weapon, you need a tight end. I feel like I get it. Your wide receivers have been hurt the last year, but you already have 2 dogs out there on the outside, and Keenan Allen and Williams. So I think I didn't care for that draft pick. I think Johnson's going to be great for them. I mean, he's going to make their offense a lot better, I think, but I think they could have went in other directions with that pick. But again, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have weapons. So it was a good pick. It was an okay draft for the Chargers, But yeah, I fully didn't understand that draft pick. But they're going to be all right. I think they come in second in this division, and possibly I think they sneak into the playoffs here. I think they do get that third spot, but. Re-signing Eckler, though, agreeing to terms for more money, because that guy does make that offense go. He catches out of the backfield, he runs, he scores like a lot of touchdowns for this Chargers offense. So I think that was a good. Paying him more money was smart, making him happy. I think he deserves it. So, but yeah, I think the Chargers come in second here. I like to see what Justin Herbert does this season after blowing that 27-point lead in the playoffs. They got to figure it out. I mean, they have a lot of dogs on defense too. So they got Joey Bosa, they got Khalil Mack, they got J.C. Jackson, Asante Samuel Jr. Their defense is loaded. So if they can figure it all out, put it all together, I think this team will be all right. They just kind of seem like they have just, I don't know. It's just another one of those teams where it's like every year we're told they're supposed to be great, and then somehow, some way, they find a way to lose it in the playoffs, kind of like, the Dallas Cowboys or someone like that who every year we hear how great they are, but they never live up to the hype. So, I'm excited to see what the Chargers do this year. I hope they do make a deep run into the playoffs. It's always good to have your star quarterbacks in the playoffs. So, and I think Justin Herbert's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. So, but yeah. And then coming in at number 1 is the obvious Kansas City Chiefs, until proven otherwise. This is the king of the division. I think I just saw a stat yesterday where every team in this division has won the division 15 times. So I think this will be the year that Kansas City pulls ahead by 1, No one in this division is close to Kansas City, in my opinion. They got Patrick Mahomes, man. We all know he's special. The guy just gets it done when it needs to get done. Guy was playing on one leg last year and still won the AFC, which is crazy, They didn't really add too much, though, this offseason, I would say. They got, but they didn't really. I don't think they really needed to. The only thing they could add still is they could use a wide receiver. They don't really have a big name, but sometimes the quarterback makes the receiver, and I think Patrick Mahomes is that type of quarterback that makes his receivers good. So I'm not sure it matters. It does matter a little bit who they line up out there, but I think Patrick Mahomes is going to find a way to get them the ball. We've seen it with Manning. We saw it with Brady, and sometimes just you make the receiver better. So I think he does that for them, but they could always add a D-Hop or someone out there, maybe someone comes up on the trade block that they can go get. But yeah, I think they could use another weapon on offense here, just at least at a wide receiver. They still obviously have Travis Kelce, who's a dog, best tight end in the league, probably going to go down as the greatest tight end in history. I mean, people forget about Gronk sometimes because he hasn't played for a couple of years now, but I think he's going to surpass Gronk. So that duo is just insane. He always seems to be open. So it's nice to have a safety blanket like that. And then obviously they still have Coach Reed, who's probably and I think I give Bill Belichick his props, as a great coach. And I think Andy Reid is in that tier with Bill Belichick, That guy has won no matter with everybody and anybody, So I think they're always going to be good as long as Mahomes and Andy's there. So yeah, I think they're going to be all right. Their defense, it was young last year. They had I think they started 4 rookies in the secondary, which is absolutely insane, and still won the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I expect nothing but improvement on the defensive side of the ball for them to get better. You never know. Sometimes you have that sophomore slump, but I expect the defense to still be that a pretty solid defense. So, yeah, that is my my rankings for the AFC West, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know who you would rank where, what you agree with, what you don't agree with. It's always good to get some feedback, and I like to hear other people's opinions, and we can talk about it. Just leave it down in the comments below. And tomorrow we will be doing the AFC North, which I think is a tough division. So make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.